Family, blessed love, Rastafari. You don't know, we're giving thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie the First. In all our doings and all our sayings, it is a joy to see you again right here with us in the Tiger's Nest. In fact, what we are doing, we are highlighting this evening's Tiger's Nest family. Now, this video that you are watching, I will be premiering it on the YouTube. So for those who would be watching it on a rebroadcast, this will be premiered. So I'm still going to give the audience just a little bit before they come in, because I have a special video I want to present to you. But let me say this as we are, flowing through my family. This evening on the Tiger's Nest, this is on Radio Anu. Radio Anu, you know how to get to Radio Anu, right? Well, this is the link to Radio Anu, priestisaacinstitute.com. Of course, the link is in the description of this video, just below. You just scroll down and you will see the link, and it will carry you straight to Radio Anu. You press Radio Anu and you go straight to Radio Anu, and we'll see exactly what is taking place on Radio Anu, even as we speak to you at this moment here. This is
after a couple of months, my official duty was working within the office.
That's an interview I was doing with the Honorable Priest Chris.
Official duty, and even before that,
Right. That's a specific interview I did with the Honorable Priest Chris. So you could definitely check that out. As I said, that is Radio Anu, even if you link that now. But for sure, this evening again at the hour of 7 p.m., that's Eastern Caribbean time, which should be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you join us on Radio Anu. We are going to be talking about the bill that they have been voting on today in Florida, the Senate bill, as it relates to the gay rights. What's the name of the actual bill now? I had it here. The Parent Prevention Act, something of the sort. But I'll give you that in detail. I'm saving all of that for the Tiger's Nest, because what I'm going to be speaking about on the Tiger's Nest, you know how it is. I don't think I'll be able to speak about that on the YouTube. You don't know, because that's a real sick vibes. But as I said, I would not go too far into it right here. But family, let me just tell you this, next Wednesday, definitely check in the date of next Wednesday now. We will definitely be having a wonderful lecture. This is something you want to, keep in mind. That will be Wednesday the 16th. Here it is, family. That's Wednesday the 16th. We will be having a wonderful online lecture. Yes, we are returning to the webinars. We'll be having a wonderful webinar, but this webinar is going to be one of those contribution webinars, one of those contribution online lectures. So in other words, when you hear that, that means it's going to be a free webinar. That means the online lecture is free, and we will be streaming it right through the YouTube as well. So, and this is going to be a mystic lecture we are going into. As you know, it's the Lenten series, or the period, I should say, the Lenten period, 40 days and 40 nights in the wild. And one of the vibrations about the Lent is the whole concept of the crucifixion and the resurrection of Christ. So I'm putting together a presentation. I'm saying a little presentation, but honestly, it might be lengthy. And we're going to be talking about, the journey through the Amenta. Okay, so the lecture is entitled The Lenten Amenta, Journey Through the Underworld. You understand? The Amenta, the journey through the underworld. And when is that? That is the 16th of March. Give me the date again. That's the 16th of March. That is next. One more time. Next Wednesday, the 16th of March. Amenta, the journey through the underworld. I'm definitely looking forward to everyone being a part of that session. That it will be premiered at 8 p.m. sharp. Again, that's 8 p.m. sharp. Next Wednesday, the 16th, right after the Tiger's Nest at 8 p.m. sharp. As I said, we're talking about a mentor. That's the name of the lecture, a mentor, the journey through the underworld. So those who are really seeking an understanding of this concept of the crucifixion and resurrection, definitely of Christ, you definitely want to be a part of that. That is something you will really appreciate. All right, I believe the family should be in the house right now, but don't forget that we will be, and you definitely won't forget at all, we will be doing a special program this evening on the Tiger's Nest at 7 p.m. sharp Eastern Caribbean time, which will be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's at Radio Anu, and you know how to get there, so make sure you tune in for that. Talking about the gay bill that they're voting on in the Senate in Florida today. That's what we will be talking about. All right. Now, what I want to do here, I want to return or go, I should say, to this is the presentation we did a few months ago, a couple of months ago, in December, Fairy Tale Folly Days and Nursery Crimes, the Firing Squad edition. I just want to take in some of it here, family, to, you know, bring you some information that I know you definitely need to hear. Just follow with me as we go through. From Snow White to Rose Red. That's why Snow White is no longer around, and you're looking at Rose Red just like you're looking, let's say, at Esau and calling him Jacob, because Jacob is who is inside. Snow White is who is inside of Rose Red. Okay, so that's the science that they're pulling out. Okay, we'll get back to that in a second if you didn't catch it good. This is Baba Yaga. Smoking out of her bones. Her? Yeah, man, that's a her, man.
I see it's strange, but it is.
Yeah, man, it's a witch, Baba Yaga. Now, in some of the old theology, Baba Yaga, obviously a witch would have worked for Geppetto. Geppetto, the father of Pinocchio. Them is some old-time European outlook at this stuff. These people that we have, Mother Goose and all of these killers here, these are old European gargoyle stories that they bring to us, the Brothers Grimm. Grimm, eh? You hear that name, eh? The Brothers Grimm. A lot of these stories that we love today comes from a set of people named the Grimm brothers. The Brothers Grimm. What good you can get from Grimm people. Here. So Baba Yaga now, Baba Yaga, so much stories behind this Baba Yaga, outside of her working for Geppetto. You know, Baba Yaga used to have a lot of war with Little Boy Blue. You know, Baba Yaga specifically once came to Earth, or to the real world, not to Earth, to the real world, because you know you have 3 different worlds. How it go again now?
Real world, yeah.
The real world.
The real world. The fable world. The
fable world.
And the last one. This one.
Is the homeland.
The homeland.
So the homeland is where Geppetto lived. That's like heaven. Fable world is where the fable ran to. That's somewhere in between. And then you have the real world where me and you are. You understand? And people like Pinocchio, which is a God figure. Pinocchio is God, if you didn't know. Pinocchio is Christ. Geppetto is God and Pinocchio is Christ. And Pinocchio would go in between all 3 worlds unstopped. Pinocchio have that power. Baba Yaga have that power. And Little Boy Blue have that power. And a few others. No, this is not me making up this weird thing, you know. I'm just showing you how the story goes, because once Baba Yaga dressed up herself like Red Riding Hood by the orders of Geppetto to come to Earth to find Pinocchio. Now, Red Riding Hood, covered with the red hood, obviously that's the covering of red again. That's the symbol of the blood coming from the homeland to the real world. Is spirit come to physical. This is some deep thing, vibration in a family. You don't have to be into esoterics to understand what I'm saying, you know. Even if you don't deal with it, this is what they deal with. And this is exactly what they portrayed here, no joke. So Little Boy Blue now. Little Boy Blue hooked up with Pinocchio too, you know. Little Boy Blue is who assisted Pinocchio to get back to the real world. I'm talking about way before Walt Disney was even a thought. This is when Pinocchio, this is even before Pinocchio was swallowed by fish and so. This is some old, even the stories that Walt Disney would have taken to make his movies, even those stories are taken from some old campfire talking that Europeans used to have even when they were looking to come out the cave. And so, no disrespect to nobody. I just showing you how it is. So them is some old stories. Whether they be real or not, well, they can't be real. But maybe I should say whether they be taken from a true story or they just make them out of their head like some campfire make-up story thing. I can't tell you. But Little Boy Blue, Baba Yaga, Saint, Father Christmas, not necessarily Saint Nicholas, because he morphed into all these things. Father Christmas, who else we just talked about? All Pinocchio and these people, especially these key people here, these are old. Geppetto. Geppetto is a god figure. Geppetto it means Joseph, eh? Joseph, the father of Christ. Geppetto had a garden full of trees, and he told Pinocchio not to touch a specific tree, and he gonna touch the tree. Sounds familiar? He carved a bug out of the tree, Jiminy Cricket, which means Jesus Christ too. Wow. So Little Boy Blue, come blow your horn. Boy Blue and Baba Yaga would have countless battles. They say Baba Yaga would torture Boy Blue, you know, for many, many years or many moons. In fact, Boy Blue would have to defeat Baba Yaga to get Pinocchio back to Geppetto in the homeland. It's a mystic thing, because remember, Baba Yaga supposed to be working for Geppetto, but Little Boy Blue didn't want to put Pinocchio back in Baba Yaga's hand. Yeah, anyway, so the Little Boy Blue that we sing in the nursery crime is considered a real superhero. Is like a Thor, you know, like them Greek, Norse, Odin kind of hero there. Now, family, hold on, eh? I hope you're not losing me. You know? Now is not the time to get comfortable. And yeah, man, this is a nice lecture here. You gotta keep everything I say in mind. Everything is tied in together. All right, because it's gonna get a little heavier here. All right, this character now that we are looking at here. This is Nietzsche, Friedrich Nietzsche. He is the individual that brought in the idea of the overman, also known as the Übermensch. I hope I pronounced that correctly. What do you think about that? Übermensch.
Übermensch.
Right, I believe so. And he brought this idea in a book known as Thus Spoke Zoroaster. We all know of Zoroaster or Zoroaster. Zoroaster, this Rasta is a Zoro. Zoroaster from the Iranian tradition. This is an Iranian god. Some people align it somewhat to, you know, even Allah and all of that stuff. You know, that's just for another discussion. I don't want to get religious with no one. But Übermensch, German pronunciation, what he says here. Übermensch, beyond man or Superman, the overman. This is where the term came from. The overman or the Superman. So when you hear about Clark Kent, the Superman, you know, and the person that is superhuman, you understand? Now, the same vibration here, keep in mind, this is from the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. Friedrich Nietzsche, you hear his name, German philosopher, his name comes up a lot in philosophical discussions. And this idea that has become world-renowned in 1883 comes from the book Thus Spoke Zoroaster. And keeping in mind that Zoroaster is the Iranian god, which is considered by many scholars to be very close to the concept of Allah.
Now, even when we speak about Iran, some people may say Persia, some people may say Iran, but they both are the same thing. Persia is Iran.
Beautiful stuff there. All right. Now, wonderful. So let us look at this now. This is some deep stuff, eh? Because Zoroaster now, Zoroaster the prophet, I'm getting my thing mixed up here. Zoroaster the prophet is the individual that speaks of the god Ahura Mazda. This is Ahura Mazda. So Zoroaster, the Iranian prophet, and his religion really gives praises to Ahura Mazda. It is Ahura Mazda, I should say specifically, that is more aligned with the Allah figure. The Zoroaster tradition, obviously they would, put some alignment to it with Islam, the tradition, to get my words correct. But I know you know what I mean. And in reality, especially because that's why Islam is aligned with Arabism in general, just because of where it would have grown up, at least where we know its origin to be, especially in the history given to us. All right, outside of the African origin of it. Okay, so check this now, man. So what is this all about? What we talking about here? We're talking about Friedrich Nietzsche. So who he? He is the German philosopher, 1883, that brought in the concept of the Superman. Oh, Superman you're talking about now. The Overman. He that overcometh. You know Superman is the #1 superhero. Right. Okay. So you want to say he invents Superman. Hold on. And he made mention of this in the book called Thus Saith Zoroaster. And Zoroaster is the Iranian, or Persian, as the prince says, prophet. And he's the prophet of Ahura Mazda. All right. According to them, Ahura Mazda is the only one that can destroy Baba Yaga. So when we say Baba Yaga now, Mithras Baba, I should say. Hold on, Mithras Baba. Don't lose me now. Who is Mithras Baba again? Mithras Baba is Mithra, the same one that wears the hat like the Smurf. Oh, okay. And Mithras is the one that is seen here destroying the bull. All right. Okay, I get that. Mithras. And Mithras is also called Mithras Baba. Oh, interesting. Right. Now I'm saying that Ahura Mazda, who's he again? Come on, take it. Ahura Mazda, I've been skipping these things, eh? Ahura Mazda is the head god of the religion known as Zoroaster. Some people don't want to call it a religion, but you know what I'm talking about. And this fella here, Friedrich Nietzsche, says in his book, what the name of the book? Thus saith Zoroaster. Oh, okay, I think I'm following you now. Right. He says in the book, what is it in the book? Oh, he speaks about the Superman, the Overman, and that is a philosophy that the bourgeois philosophers like to mention at cocktails. I was reading Nietzsche the other day, just brushing up on the Overman philosophy. Yes, it was very timely back in the Renaissance. Yeah. So it's a big thing then. Let's put it that way. You may not understand, but it's a big thing for you to be called the Superman. All right. So Nietzsche looks serious. Yeah. You follow me, man? So I'm showing you now that Mithras Baba according to the philosophy, the only person that can defeat Mithras Baga is Arua Mazda, the Iranian god from the Zoroaster philosophy. Okay, all right. Now, Mithras Baga, that's not the only Baga we have spoken about today. We also spoke about Baga Yaga. Now, hey, I hope you're with me. Interestingly, Baga Yaga has her nemesis to her enemy, which is Little Boy Blue. Now, Little Boy Blue, for sure, although he has received his share of blows from the stories I've read from Baga Yaga, but he defeated Baga Yaga at least to get Pinocchio back home. So like Arua Mazda defeats Mithras Baga, Little Boy Blue defeats Baga Yaga. All right, so what's your point? Little Boy Blue was considered to be the clerk of Snow White. The title sound familiar, the clerk. Whatever, not clerking. Okay. Yeah. Now, what I'm saying is that the Overman is the Superman. Look at Little Boy Blue here. Who it look like to you, man? Come on. The Overman is the Superman. And Nietzsche is telling you that the Overman is the man that overcometh. And his book is Thus Says Zoroaster. And Zoroaster is the prophet of Ahura Mazda. And Ahura Mazda is the only one that can destroy Mithras Baga. And Little Boy Blue is the only one that can destroy Baga Yaga. This is Little Boy Blue here. This is the same Superman philosophy of Nietzsche that was expressed in 1883. Thus said Zoroaster. So when you're watching Superman, just like you look at the character Thor, when you're looking at Thor, you're looking at Thor from the Norse mythology. But when you're looking at Superman, you're looking at more than Superman. You're looking at Ahura Mazda. Yeah. Just like when you're looking at Batman, you're looking at Robert the Bruce. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So we're going to jump here now. What we're looking at here is the area known as Gobekli Tepe. Pardon me. And really, this is the region really where one of the regions, this is in Turkey, where it is considered a stargate. And I just want to show the family something quickly here, as we are still speaking about cartoons. All right. As it relates now to the Stargate, let me just come in there now. So basically, right, you got the main idea of where we were going with that, and you saw for yourself the connection that I was highlighting with the Little Boy Blue and the Superman. Now, obviously, it may be something fresh in the minds of many. And let me say that clip there came from the online lecture that we did entitled Fairy Tale, Folly Days, and Nursery Crimes, the Firing Squad edition. You remember that? If you were not there, I'm sure you could at least recall when we were promoting it. So for sure, that's just an excerpt from it that we have decided to bring to you so you get a good idea. But as you can see, family, there's a strong link there, with all the cartoons and everything with reality. And sometimes an individual may not understand why we, take our time even to make these links. But it's because it's reality. Those who have created these links, know why they created these links, and understand the effect that these links will have on us. And that is why, it is done. But what I could tell you, family, again, when you visit the website, look at here, priestisaacinstitute.com. Remember, the link is in the description below. And you go to the area mark shop. See there, shop, S-H-O-P, shop. All right. And you definitely scroll down now. This is like our online store. Well, one of our online stores, and you could definitely scroll until you specifically find that lecture that you were gazing on a moment ago, which is Fairy Tale, Folly Days, and Nursery Crimes, the judgment itself. Not the judgment, I keep calling it the judgment, but that specifically is the firing squad edition. Now, what it is, family, you could just email us as well, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. That's priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. And you could get the full lecture. I can't remember exactly the length of the lecture, but that's about 2 hours worth of information. This is the same lecture. We broke down the whole science of the Peter Pan. We revisited, the root of it from the Knights Templars. Of course, we would have done spots of programs on these subjects, of course, but the way that we put it all together in this, what I would now consider a classic Fairy Tale, Folly Days, and Nursery Crimes, The Firing Squad, you definitely need to get a copy of that. In fact, as I said, this is definitely conducive for children. Yeah, I mean, the children will love this lecture that we did. They would love it. It's very animated too. Yeah, man, this is the same lecture where you saw Coyote try to run inside of the tunnel. And of course, Idi Amin plays a very serious and important and integral part of the lecture itself, along with the lecture we did around the same time, which was the Santa Claus massacre, total annihilation. So definitely just visit the website. You could go to the shop, or you could go to the lecture, the area mark lectures, or go to the area mark shop and seek them out. And of course, we have so many different lectures that we have done that, you would not really find on the internet, but specifically, these are now collector's items. You should definitely, make them be a part of your library as well. And of course, when you visit the shop, for sure, you could also take advantage of the books that we have available. Of course, Anu Ancient and Modern, and not to forget the True Biblical Land of Israel, and of course, the Heavens Declare the Glory, and all the other information that we have available for you, my wonderful family. Now, as I said, this evening on the Tiger's Nest, we will be talking about that bill, that Don't Say Gay bill, or whatever they call it. And I really want to say something about it. And that's not something I think I could say on this platform here. Well, I could say it, but how long will the video stay up? And how long will the platform function? Those of you who have been with me for a moment, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm just encouraging the item to join me tonight on the Tiger's Nest. That's 7 p.m. Eastern. Well, it's really Eastern Caribbean time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm encouraging you to join us, to link in. Radio Anu is on the same website, priestisaacinstitute.com website, and you could definitely link in and see what is going on. Remember, all the link is in the description below. You just go below and press it. Now, remember, the 16th of when? March, the 16th of March, we'll be having that lecture entitled Amenta. Amenta, write it down, poster, flyer coming soon, next Wednesday. That is the 16th of March at 8 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time, or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just after the Tiger's Nest next Wednesday. The lecture is entitled Amenta. It's an online lecture as well, and it will be streamed right here on the YouTube as well. Definitely a contribution lecture. So for those of you, it's free. You don't have to pay to see it. It is free. But what I'm saying, those of you who understand the value of what is taking place, those of you who respect the work to that point, that you do not mind, either you don't mind or you see it as your duty, because some people don't mind, some people see it as their duty, some people see it as their pleasure. You have different levels of this. So whether you don't mind or you see it as your duty or part of, you know, the mission, and you decide to contribute to that lecture that you will be getting, because for sure you know that is value definitely coming forward, because it's all a part of the season too. That whole fasting season and the Lenten season, there's a concept that goes with it. That's the point. There is a concept that goes with it. The amenta is the word that represents the underworld, the amenta. So that is what we're highlighting, the ma'afa as such. So it's a very extensive philosophy, very extensive philosophy, more than just Mother White Bridge and Golgotha and all of that. Is a very, very extensive philosophy. So I'm looking forward to presenting that next Wednesday, again, 8 p.m., right after the Tiger's Nest, right here on the YouTube and on the different platforms. You will be able to link and see what is taking place, and I'll be happy to serve you at that time for sure. So again, for those who will be making their contributions, you can use the Cash App, you can use the PayPal, all of that. You can find the description again in the links, I should say, in the description below this video. Visit the website as well. And of course, the links are there at the same time for you to, you know, make that donation or make that contribution, I should say, towards that upcoming lecture. What a joy, what a joy, what a joy right here in Mount Zion. So family, you don't know, all roads leads to where? Radio Anu, right now. Just get yourself ready and prepared for 7 p.m. sharp, at least Eastern Caribbean time, or 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Tiger's Nest. And trust me, man, we're going to be burning some fire on them foolishness and them evil nastiness tonight. Disgusting. But anyway, again, give thanks for the fasting and the praying. And of course, you know, we're in our article 6 o'clock down setting break our fast meditation. So of course, we're definitely in tune with that at this moment. And this is, of course, the 7th, the ending, the sealing of the 7th day thus far of the fast. That alone is a power within itself. Give thanks for all those who have been keeping the fast strong. All those who have been definitely, you know, not cheating and doing what they said they're going to do, and hold up to the principle and keeping the meditation firm. Yeah, man, definitely it's a joy, man. Great reward is there for all of I and I that will do such. Yeah, man, remember, if you can't take a big bite, take a small bite, man, and teach us that. So don't force yourself and go over the edge and do what you cannot do. Praise Pharaoh, let the earth hear his voice, let the people rejoice. Give thanks. And remember again the Tiger's Nest. King Emmanuel the 7th. Adonai God. Jah Rastafari. Honor and majesty. Blessed love.